Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition.
And these things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. No man that worreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things. Remember that Jesus Christ of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffered trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of God is not bound. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Christ Jesus with eternal glory. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself. Of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord, that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Folks, that was 2 Timothy chapter 2. And I believe that it is very, very important that we take that unto our hearts. To not add unto these vain babblings, which leads to more ungodliness. That's not what we're tasked to do. We're tasked to endure hardness, endure suffering, endure persecution, as a good soldier in Jesus Christ. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. When you're on the battlefield, you can't care about the worldly nonsense. That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. And the one that chose us to be that soldier is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who died on the cross at Calvary, whose blood now sits on the mercy seat.
The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, this vichyssoise of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me...
Wow. Welcome back to the Supernatural Late Show. I'm your host, D. Doss. As always, I'm joined by my good friend, brother in arms, brother in the faith, the good doctor, David Roach, also known as the Red Pill Preacher. I think I fixed my camera, brother.
I see that. Look at that dashing young man. Oh, I believe they call him Oklahoma's favorite son.
Oklahoma's favorite son, Virginia's favorite adopted son that needs a haircut and a good shave. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we have some stuff for you. We got some stuff for you. I'll tell you what. We got a good crowd tonight.
That's good.
That's one thing. That's a beautiful thing. They always have. I'll tell you what, folks. This is the Chinese New Year. we have moved in their astrological chart from the year of the dragon into the year of the fiery horse. We're going to talk about that and many more things that have been transpiring. So, for those who don't know, 2026 is the year of the fire horse. The Chinese zodiac follows a 12-year cycle of animals: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig, combined with one of the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. 2026 is in the year of the horse, specifically the fire horse, Bing Wu, in the traditional system. The horse symbolizes energy, freedom, speed, ambition, perseverance, and forward momentum. Now, that's what they tell the rubes. But as Christians, we have a fiery horse, or a red horse. And that is the horse that carries the rider called war. So there's traditions that come along with this. But I was wondering if you saw this, bro. We didn't have time to talk about it because we really just dove into it right before the show and a little bit earlier today. Did you see any of the celebrations that China was doing for this new year?
No, I'm afraid I didn't. I'm scared to look, to be honest with you. From the way it sounds, it can't be good.
Well, I got to see a little bit of it, but I was waiting until this show so we can watch it together. Then you got to stumble in one at a time like a bunch of hobos.
Don't they give out like red envelopes and something like that on today? And it's supposed to be heralding in the springtime and all that mumbo jumbo that they do.
I have no idea about that. I ain't heard no red envelopes, bro. That sounds like some esoteric stuff that would go down, though.
Well, I know this is the first time since 1966 since this has been the year of the fire horse.
1966. Wow, there was a lot of crazy events that we should look at that took place in 1966. Very strange that. But this is part of the celebration that took place. Of course, you have that stereotypical Hand of the Dragon music that we used to watch on Shogun Saturdays. Uh-oh, robots. That's ookie spooky, bro. I can't do that. In their infancy, bro. Could you imagine trying to fight one of these things?
Look at this. Spear work.
So you got the robots. Just more than likely they're not. Probably should have said that. Now this is what's out there for public consumption. Pretty hardcore.
It's wild, bro.
Yeah, it is, man. Like, if that's their New Year's celebration, imagine what they got out there whenever they get ready to invade us. The source of this video is, I'll tell you in a sec, CGTN, some sort of a television station over there. This is really a trip, bro. Now they're going into the old drunken master.
Woo.
And so on and so forth it goes. There we go.
Here we go. That's so enough.
Yeah, that's Master Dragon right there, bro. Look how fluid they're moving, like. All right, that's enough of that. But you see my point. It's pretty heavy duty.
What in the Kung Fu Panda the hell did we just watch, bro? It's
We just watched them put on display like the upgrades to this robot, which I believe is the one that Elon Musk put out. But the craziest thing about it, man, is that's what they're putting out there for public consumption. What do they got behind closed doors?
I can tell you what they got behind closed doors because we saw the videos of it. They got warehouses and hangar bays full of them damn things. Those things right there, them robots right there.
Yeah.
They got, I mean, they're, we in trouble, bro. You had Jackie Chan and Jet Li up there doing the damn Kung Fu. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
Yeah, doing the Kung Fu hustle.
Yeah, and them robots look smooth as silk, bro. They did. Smooth as churned buttermilk.
With edge weapons in their hands and everything.
Yes, sir.
Bro, that's the thing. That thing pull a knife on you in your house and cut you up like bologna.
Yeah, they go through you like Sarabachi, bro.
Yeah, that's where we're at, man. That's what's
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know what I mean? Just because I know you're a fan of old school kung fu like I am.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's pretty heavy duty in the fact that that's what we got to face.
Them dudes was running backwards.
Yeah,
like full bore.
Ookie spooky.
Golly, man. You caught me. I'm not usually caught 1 foot off the merry-go-round, but I have to say that one right there. I mean, what do you do with that when you got, as the Bible says, the kings of the east shall trouble the Antichrist? Maybe it's because they got 300 million robots coming down the dried up Euphrates River, for God's sake.
And wasn't it our one of the forebears of our faith, and John the Revelator, that was talking about how some sort of a life was given to an image of a statue. The beast gave the life to this image of the statue and caused everybody to worship that statue, and the statue caused everybody to worship the first beast. So when I see things like that,
I don't guess I should be shocked, because not too long ago we did a show and we showed those giant chimeric animatronic creatures in France. You remember that?
Yes.
It's similar shock and awe moment. That right there, though, showed a lot of coordination. What did they could program those things, man, to be like a spec ops team, bro. I mean, you can't kill them.
Absolutely. Well,
Age of Ultron, bro. That's what that is. That's Tony Stark's little robot army that Ultron took over. That's what that is.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, you like you said, you can program these things for Black Ops. I don't understand why you couldn't. If you can program them to do such intricate, like ballerina type movements and kung fu movements, why couldn't you?
Yeah, they're doing it advanced. In the Japanese, it's called a kata. They were doing like an advanced sword kata.
Yes.
With a Chinese broadsword. That's not an easy thing to wield around.
No, it's not at all. And that's the crazy thing about it, bro. We're supposed to be in our infancy with all this stuff, but I believe it's far more advanced, and they're allowing us to understand that it is, or actually showing us. We're just getting a taste of it. And that brings us to the next thing I want to talk to you about. Everybody's talking about the Epstein list and the Epstein files. When I was going through my notes earlier, I came across 3I Atlas.
Really?
Yeah, they're just going through some old notes, and what's very, very curious is 3I Atlas was supposed to be here by the beginning of January, end of December. December 19th, 2025, to be exact. We really started hearing heavy talk around November the 11th of 2025. What day was the first leak of the Epstein files? Does anybody know? And I'm not asking in some hyperbolic, gotcha type of way. I'm sincerely asking because there has to be some sort of coinciding thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was coinciding with 3I Atlas, but I know it was coinciding with the rigmarole up in Minneapolis. I do know it coincided with that.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that you're insinuating that they might have tried to pull some kind of distraction on us, the old American people, huh?
That is what I'm insinuating with a heavy hand. Even the nonsense that took place, because we know our government's not above. What can I call it for us not to get this whole video taken down? They will put forth things to the American public that seem like they're legitimate events, big events, tragic events that seem like they're legitimate and they're really not, to distract us from something else. We've seen it all throughout time. We've seen it since the 60s. And that's what I believe is
You mean
going
like
on.
a false flag?
Yes.
False flag? Is that what you're saying for?
That's what I was insinuating, yes.
It's very probable. I mean, like you said, they've been doing it since the Kennedy assassination, since the founding of the CIA.
Right. And that's more than likely one of the reasons Kennedy went the way of all flesh, because he saw what his Joint Chiefs of Staff were planning as far as what's going on in Cuba, and what's going on right now actually is mirroring it. But he said no. They were planning attacks on citizens in Florida, and they were going to blame it on Cuba to legitimize themselves going to war with Cuba. And when he found out about this nefarious plot, he started cutting off heads. He said, no, you're done. We're not going to play these games. You're talking about taking American life to justify going to war based on your own hypothesis of how things should be and where things are going to go? No, we're not doing that. As a matter of fact, you're fired.
And here we are, 60 years later, and Cuba is about 20 days probably from complete collapse economically because of the blockades in the Caribbean. Yeah, I think things are coming full circle, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Right. But to what end, though, are they coming full circle? That's my whole thing.
Well, fleshing that out is one for the record books, bro. I mean, there's got to be, we were discussing this today, there's got to be a reason that they let these Epstein files out, because it would have been very simple for them just to take their little red rubber mallet and stamp classified on all of them and tuck them away and just say, tough shit, you ain't seeing them.
Yeah.
And that would have been the end of it. But no, and the way that they rolled them out, this thing, I believe, was laid out from the beginning. And the way they've rolled them out now is to obfuscate and to muddy the waters to where it sowed a whole bunch of confusion. You see that Scam Blondie, when she gave her testimony the other day, she had a damn literal meltdown in front of Congress for 4 hours. That's what she had.
Yeah, pretty much. She was pressed up against it.
Yeah, she talking about the Dow Jones, how high it is, and Chinese vape products, and just all kinds of non-essential shit to talk about when you're in there to answer questions about the Epstein. I'm going to start calling it the Epstein administration, because 12 of these people that work for DJT are in the files, including himself.
Yeah.
So why are they letting it out? That's the thing. They've got to be doing something else. As Sherlock said, the game is afoot, Watson.
Something else is absolutely going on. The timing of it, and that's the thing about it. At first, I thought it was like, let's throw all this mess in this dead man's lap. So at the very end of the day, they can say, oh, well, everything's clear and fine. He's dead. She's locked up. The good guys win. But there's something more to it than that. And my mind keeps going back to 3i Atlas. My mind keeps going back to them basically terraforming the Earth with these chemtrails and everything else. Because, I mean, we've hit enough in our language to where this video is only going to be seen by our atypical 200 people.
Right.
Well, let's call a spade a spade. The chemtrails that they're putting in the air with the microscopic pieces of metal in it, that's literally shielding us from anything out there that would come down here. Any kind of ray, like the sun's rays even are being affected by these things, these chemtrails and other things like HARP. I believe the CERN Large Hadron Collider and
Sure.
other machines that seem to be terraforming the Earth for something. And I don't think that's a wrong term to use. Something is absolutely going on.
Speaking of CERN, did you see the article? I know this is a kind of a pivot, but since you brought CERN up, there was an article that I stumbled across the other day where one of the top scientists from CERN issued a public apology. And this has been years ago, but the article was just
I know exactly where you're going because they destroyed how many universes?
5 parallel dimensions, she said.
Yes.
That is insanity.
Right. I'll find that real fast. That's a pretty interesting article. And she says it so matter of fact.
Yeah. Oh, well, we apologize. We destroyed 5 parallel universes.
Kind of gives more merit to the claims of the Mandela effect.
Oh, yeah. I believe that's 100% legitimate phenomenon. I mean, I can prove that. I mean,
well, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, turn the clock back 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was the biggest proponent against any of this stuff because all I thought it was going to do was convince people that the Bible had been changed. You know, because that's eventually where it went. People were saying, oh, well, the Bible's been changed, key elements of the Bible. But when you really look at it, I mean, the one key element that I think if there are parallel dimensions, parallel universes, the key element that's the same is the God of heaven, God the creator, and Lord Jesus Christ coming down to take all of our sins onto himself. That has to exist in every single parallel universe without any kind of revision or change.
right.
That's the constant.
They've already done a good job of changing our biblical reality. You got 700 and some different translations, all of them. And every new one that's printed takes a little more of the deity of Jesus Christ out of it.
Right.
I mean, you look at the people who wrote the NIV, for example, they print the NIV Bibles on the same printing presses that they print porno magazines. They were all sodomites, all of them on the literary council that justified the changes to the King James Bible and came up with the first edition NIV. They were all sodomites. That's why you won't find the word sodomy in the NIV Bible anywhere, because they took it out. It's pretty wild stuff, bro. I mean, I showed you some of the changes last year, I believe it was. Sent them to you. It's pretty significant stuff. But anyway, they're doing a fine job of removing God from every aspect of life without destroying a universe to do it. They're destroying the one we're in every day we live.
Yeah, and now the only thing I can find is from like The Onion and these fact-checking websites, and they're saying it was a false article.
Of course they
are. Yeah, I distinctly remember reading the actual article when it came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course it's a false article. It's always something false or fake, kind of like satanic ritual abuse is false memory foundation. You know, it's implanted memories. Don't you know? This didn't happen. But,
okay, so that's a false memory. But check this out. I found an actual article from MSNBC or MSN rather, and this right here leads credence to what we seeing being real. Let's check this out real fast, bro. I don't know if you folks, okay, you folks can see it. I'll read it for you. Recent discoveries have reignited, excitement and curiosity in the scientific community, suggesting the possible existence of parallel universes. Scientists are delving into evidence and theories surrounding these findings, which could have profound implications for our understanding of reality. To understand the concept of parallel universes, we must first explore its historical background. The idea of a multiverse has intrigued philosophers and scientists for centuries, and I really didn't understand that it intrigued anybody until relatively recently. Let's see where we got here. To gain significant traction in the 20th century with the advent of quantum mechanics. Physicist Hugh Everett III was one of the first to propose the many worlds interpretation in the 1950s. This theory suggests that every quantum event spawns a new universe, each representing different possible outcomes. Several scientific theories propose the existence of parallel universes. Besides the many worlds interpretation, string theory posits that existence of multiple dimensions, some of which might host parallel worlds. Popular culture has also embraced the concept, with literature and media frequently portraying parallel universes, from Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass to contemporary sci-fi films like Interstellar. These portrayals have significantly influenced public perception, making the idea of multiple universes a familiar and intriguing notion. So see, this is just talking about the actual theory of it and how they postulate that it could be real. But there's actual scientists that are saying that not only is it real, but they have the power to touch these parallel universes. So see, they're mixing the mundane with the arcane, with the real, with the fake.
Of course, that's what they do. Because they want to keep you guessing. They don't want you knowing the complete picture of anything.
Right.
You know, just like since you had brought up the Epstein files, back to them again. I know we're kind of scatter shooting tonight, but it's necessary. We got so much going on. You see, the reason why you won't see anybody arrested, Pam Bondi said it best out of her own mouth, our Attorney General. She said, well, if we arrest everyone, the entire world's governments will collapse.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. I looked into that, and I can't find a quote where she actually said that. I mean, if you can find the clip, I can't find the clip. I can't find an article where she actually said that, bro.
She said it live, sitting at the table beside the president. And it was a news clip. She was asked a question about arrests inside the I don't know what the room is in the White House, where all his cabinet sits together and they take questions from the press. I watched it. I'll have to go back and I got it in my safe.
I believe you. I believe you. But that's another thing that they use to discredit us. Let's say, because I believe you, you're my brother, and I love you, and I trust you. Let's say that's what was said. If it is, it's been scrubbed from the internet. So it delegitimizes us to quote something that we can't reference back to. You know what I mean? And Sean Ryan just put out an apology, like literally right before I jumped on there. He just put out an apology because he said the same thing. He remembers seeing it, and it's gone. He couldn't reference back to it. There's something going on where they, of course, they're holding channels like this, like Sean Ryan's, honestly. They're holding channels back that are giving the unfiltered truth. And they would love nothing more than now they're going after Alex Jones again. Because, I mean, he'll look like a prophet if they don't. Everything he said has came to pass. Honestly, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a little bit of a pivot now, too, with still holding on to that 4D chess horse crap. You know, yeah, but that's not the way it is.
Now you say it, bro. Did you see where he said that Candace Owens was a man and got Erica Kirk pregnant?
What?
Oh my God! Like I just said this, that I don't want to quote something I can't harken back to. So let me find the clip. But yes, and this is something I saw, and I'm gonna find you the clip so you can see You and the audience can see it yourself. But Alex Jones, and I'll say allegedly until you can see it yourself, said that that's one of the big secrets, that Candace Owens is really a man. And the reason that Erica Trump went after her so hard is because Erica Trump, not Erica, why am I saying Erica Trump? Erica Kirk was impregnated. Bro, you can't make this stuff up. It's madness. You see what I'm saying? Erica Kirk was impregnated by the transsexual, or the trans person, which is what's her face? It's a world of madness. We're in the upside down.
Yeah, we're in Alice in Wonderland right now.
Yeah.
Well, he said some pretty wild stuff, but a lot of it's been true, bro. We can't deny that. But if he said
I don't think that girl's like not a man.
No, of course not. I don't think that. But a lot of it,
I guess she could be.
She don't look like no dude to me.
Well, I mean, that don't make a damn bit of difference, bro. Like, there's a lot of dudes that look like women that could fool the best of it.
Yeah, I guess they could. Is it pulling up?
The real reason Alex Jones attacking Candace Owens, she's mentally ill. Empress of Darkness. I want to find the exact quote where he's saying all kinds of crazy stuff about her, apparently.
Well, isn't that special?
Candace Owens conspiracy theories. No, it's not pulling up on the very top. Not by that. And I'm not gonna weed through all this. I'll find it and I'll put it in a video for you folks. But it's pretty crazy. Like Alex Jones, I don't know what kind of game he's playing, or if he's just finally gone off the deep end, or if he's controlled opposition. There's always been a part of me that said that Alex Jones, since his daddy was in the CIA, that he was part of the system.
There's a lot of that controlled opposition. There's quite a bit of that.
Like, how in the hell did he get into Bohemian Grove and make it out alive?
It's a good question. Almost like he was let in there, huh?
Yeah, I believe that's what took place.
Because we know for a fact somebody who's been there personally multiple times. You knew what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And they put Hillary Clinton on her knees and was going to kill her.
About to send her the way of all flesh.
Yeah, they were going to send her the way of all flesh for acting a fool in Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, that's exactly my point, bro. Like, if they're about to do that, and Bill Clinton was sitting right there, shared a piece of cake with this man. So if they're going to do that to Hillary Clinton, like, how is this dude able to go in there and act a fool like he was doing, film stuff, leave, post it in the public, approach people that are known members of Bohemian Grove, question them on the streets, and still be able to, draw water and draw breath? That's strange to me. It always has been.
Yeah, man. Well, world of the truth is stranger in fiction, as always, right?
Right. So going back to the very beginning of this, what did happen to Three Eye Atlas? Did it just came and passed with no consequence, or?
Well, what is his name? Avi Loeb, that professor from Harvard that supposedly got pictures of it, with their, whatever that high-powered telescope they have.
The Hubble telescope?
The Hubble, or the, what is that one that on Mount Graham, the Lucifer?
Yeah, they changed it to something. I forget its new name. They changed it from the Lucifer to something less satanic.
Just a little less satanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just supposed to be the date that it was going to be visible and have the best shot at pictures. No, it was never supposed to make impact with the Earth, to my knowledge. I never heard it was supposed to be.
No. I never heard that either. I heard it was going to come close to Earth's orbit and then unleash or unfurl a bunch of other UFOs, and they're going to give us the business or something. I don't know.
Well, there is quite a bit of hear people tell it. A lot of UFO activity right now, all over the place. California specifically.
I saw one tonight, bro.
That's what I've been. Really?
Yeah, I was going to Sheets.
Well, it'd be.
Huh?
Go ahead. I said, no.
I was going to Sheets
in
the mountains. Yeah, like where we are. You've seen them, and I've seen them too. Like we saw them. What, our first week here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it'd be easy to see them on the night with the invisible moon. I mean, that's another astrological thing going on. The moon is completely black tonight. There's no moonlight at all.
Right.
0% lit tonight, at least according to the interweb of things. And I can't find it. I went out and looked at it tonight, and I don't see no moon anywhere.
I don't see it either. The invisible moon. And I'm no witch, but I could just imagine they got all kinds of nefarious stuff going on tonight.
They probably got all kinds of nefarious stuff going on tonight. Mm-hmm.
So the phrase invisible moon most commonly refers to the new moon phase in astronomy, the point in which the lunar cycle, when the moon is positioned between the Earth and the Sun, or is positioned between the Earth and the Sun. From our perspective on Earth, the side of the moon facing us is completely unlit in darkness, making it invisible to the naked eye under normal conditions. The sun illuminates half the moon at all times, but during the new moon, the lit half faces away from the Earth. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see the esoteric meanings of it. So, fringe theories about a second hidden moon, like the old Lilith idea, or the moon being artificial, hollow, don't hold up scientifically, they say. The folklore and symbolism of it is the unseen moon represents hidden truths, the subconscious, mystery, or even portals to other realms, e.g. In occult views tied to intuition and shadows. Some myths touch on dark or evil lunar aspects during this time. Nothing that the mainstream touches on, of course, though. But right. I wonder what the Lilith angle of this is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never heard of Lilith being associated with this moon. Well, so the black moon Lilith is another thing that the black moon is called.
The black moon Lilith.
Yes.
Well, I mean, she's Screech Owl in the King James Bible is the transliteration, and then
yes.
What is always commonly associated with the night and with the moon? Owls,
bats, all sorts of night creatures. Yeah,
all the creatures of the night. Right.
Right.
So yeah, it's not that far out for me to make that connection.
Yeah, it says Lilith embodies the shadow feminine archetype, raw instincts, repressed desires, rebellion against norms, especially patriarchal ones, autonomy, sexuality, and where we feel exiled, shamed, or misunderstood. This is all encompassed within the blackness of night of an unlit moon. Wow.
Well, and we're creeping up on Walpurgis. So all these things are right here in one small window of time. We just had a Friday the 13th, which is a satanic high day. Now you got a night of the invisible moon. You got the Chinese New Year. Shall we continue? I mean, it's all kinds of esoteric madness going on in one short window of time.
Yeah, in one sitting. So the Lilith moon, I've never heard it called that before, bro.
Me either. That's a new one on me, and I've been doing this quite a while. The Lilith moon.
Embracing it leads to empowerment. Suppressing it can bring rage, manipulation, and self-sabotage.
And what did it say about shadows? Like, I wonder if it's meaning like shadows of things to come, like
all this seems to be talking about what to do, like how the individual reacts to things to come. It talks about Lilith and how Lilith, embodies the shadow feminine archetype. So an archetype of a person or a character, which is raw instincts, repressed desires, rebellion against norms, especially patriarchal ones, autonomy, sexuality, and where we feel exiled, shamed, or misunderstood. It's a part of us that refuses to be tamed, where we might feel taboo or powerful in ways society discourages. So rebellion. This is talking about rebellion, which is witchcraft, is the spirit of witchcraft.
It's often similar to the archetype of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, man's dark side, right?
That's
the dark
exactly
side.
Right.
Matter of fact, one of the greatest philosophers of this century, Carl Jung, he had an entire philosophy built around incorporating your shadow.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So that's kind of along down those lines.
Joe Baggy says Candace Owens is a bit off, but she ain't got no wiener. I agree with that, but I don't even think she's off. Like, something's going on with her. She was talking things that made sense. She was very logical, very astute in her findings as far as like her investigations and stuff went. Then she started going like almost overnight, started going off the deep end. And I found that to be very, very strange. And I don't think it's for no reason. Like, she went from bringing up logical and reasonable points about Charlie Kirk's assassination to talking about how Charlie Kirk was a time traveler and talking about all this other real esoteric Gnostic type stuff. And it seemed to just happen overnight.
Yeah, and how her and Charlie used to talk about the third eye and astral projecting and all this stuff. She was saying all that.
Yeah, he was astral projecting in her dreams before the assassination. Don't you know?
Your baby daddy will have a tendency to do that.
All right, since you brought this up, listen. This is a theory that me and my brother have. All right. Candace Owens is married to, and since, you know, I'm the world's greatest detective, let me put this degree to use. Candace Owens' husband is a son of the member of the House of Lords. I don't feel like looking it up. You can do your own research. Her husband is the son of a member of the House of Lords over in England. Okay. Her oldest son is named Charlie. Her oldest son was born around the same time, about a year before her and her husband were married. My brother and I don't want to speak for him, but I believe you believe like I do, that's Charlie Kirk's kid. That's the only one that's kind of kept hidden away from the public.
Yep.
So we were talking one day and we came up with the same theory that Charlie and Candace were really in love with one another, and he confided in her more than he confided in this arranged marriage. Her marriage is arranged as well, and that's why she felt some sort of way when he was assassinated, and she was all gung-ho about it. And the subsequent time, somebody, whether it be her father-in-law, who again is a member of the House of Lords, so he's ingrained deeply into that system, or MI6 or whoever, set her down and said, listen, enough's enough. So now she's getting into all this mystic, esoteric, Gnostic, weird type stuff. This real, like, pseudo-Christian type nonsense she's spouting. And I believe that's for a reason. She probably don't want to go the same way as Charlie Kirk. Somebody got to her. That's what I believe. What say you, Doctor?
I concur. I have thought that from the beginning of this. I mean, because we know that Charlie Kirk, just from his own postings, I don't have to formulate a theory about it. We know Charlie Kirk had a proclivity for the brown sugar. And we know that for a fact. It's in college.
Yeah, that's all he hung out with, is a bunch of black girls.
Exactly. So it wasn't a stretch for me. And when I found that first child of Candace Owens is always hidden from the media. You never see that first child, and then to find out his name is Charlie, and that they were on all these trips and stuff together, bro. The math is mathing to me. I mean, you're not going on no. Let's just keep it a buck, as the young folks say. You're not going on no trips with no woman across to these other countries and stuff, and you ain't involved in a little escapade.
You're a single male. She's a single female. You got everything in common.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that part.
That's just. I mean, that's just common sense.
It's just a theory, people. Don't shoot the messengers, but it is one that I think we can. We have a little bit of evidence to support.
If that just like Joe Baggy said, probably looks exactly like Charlie, because Charlie's got some traits that'll be passed down from father to son or father to daughter. So he's got some traits that'll be undeniable. That big head, the jaw. I mean, there's things that you wouldn't be able to deny. So much so that they probably got to say, yeah, this boy can't. We can't bring this boy on camera. We can't do that.
No.
So that's our theory, and when you use that as a foundation, like everything that she's done thus far makes more sense.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
Yes.
Because look, she was on their ass like back pockets.
Yes, she was.
And we know she said it openly. She loved Charlie. How many times you heard her do that? Many times.
Tons. Almost every time she dove into it. And the fact that it happened shortly after Erica Kirk, some lady was interviewing her, and she said, "What response, if any, do you have to Candace Owens?" And she looked right at the camera, and you could see that demon manifest, bro. Is what's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
She had those crazy eyes. She said, "Just stop, just stop." And I think that Candace knows what Erica Kirk really is. This is just one Oki's opinion, folks. I believe that Erica Kirk is an agent. I mean, that's my from everything I see. She's there was no big love story. She couldn't even remember when they were married, what day they were married on. What woman? Now you talk about a man. We're ignorant apes, so we won't remember these type of things. But when you're being not even an interview, you're talking to your husband on his podcast. She couldn't remember what date they were married.
Yeah, bro, that don't happen.
Yeah,
a woman remembers when she's married. I promise you that.
Yeah, none of that really jailed. It's a bunch of weirdness going on with the entire thing, and how her actions immediately after the assassination. It's just weird stuff that don't really jive with me.
Yeah, it's definitely some madness going on with it for sure.
Until you start taking into account that she was employed to take care of him as a handler and to make sure certain things weren't said and certain actions weren't taken. And when they were, we see the results of it.
Well, let's call a spade a spade. If Charlie had kept his nose on the proverbial to the grindstone and kept supporting the synagogue of Satan like he was,
yep,
and just kept on, them checks would have kept coming, because they were big donors, brother, from the synagogue of Satan.
They were. He'd be alive-o today.
Yes, sir. What do you want to bet that she ain't had no problem cashing them checks right now?
Of course she hadn't.
Of course she had.
And she's looked at as a hero for immediately taking over Turning Point USA. No, that was all a part of the plan as well.
Oh, of course. Of course. Absolutely.
And it turns out that it's some sort of a satanic organization.
Bro, at this point, if I woke up with my head stapled to the carpet, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No kidding.
But I did.
It makes you think, bro. It really makes you think. How deep do those tentacles from the deep state or the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it? How deep do those tentacles actually go?
Just like we've said, every aspect of your life.
Yeah,
that's how deep. So
sad state of affairs.
when Pam Bondi made that statement, which I did watch her, and Sean Ryan's right. I watched her say it, and they might have taken it down off the internet. They do that to a lot of stuff.
Yep.
But she's right. If you took down everybody listed that's affiliated criminally with that cabal called Epstein, you would collapse civilized, I use that term loosely, civilized society.
Then what's the point?
They've been running this game since the beginning. What they don't realize is that's exactly what we wanted you to do. Bring it down. That's what we wanted you to do. So we put you there to do.
Bro, that's where they're messing up. They're thinking that we're going to be placated and that we're going to accept this unacceptable action that's being pushed forth, and that our attention is going to be taken away by some third world country being taken over or bombed or whatever the case may be. And I don't think it's going to go away that easy. I think they really shit in their hat this time, to use an old Okie term.
I have been, you know this, privately and publicly, I have always said that this is the thread. If you pull on it enough, it pulls the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Months and months ago, what did I say? This is not
if
going
not a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And for real, before I even met you, bro, I was saying this 10 years ago. 10 years.
And bro, it's the craziest thing to me is Epstein's not the be all end all. He's not some big James Bond villain.
No.
Bro, he's not even this is just my humble opinion. I don't even believe he's close to the top. I believe he was just another cog in the machine.
Yeah, he just one that had his finger on the bank accounts and the money. He was a good money launderer.
Yes.
He was a good money launderer, and that's one of the reasons I think he's still walking around.
And just the way you said it, he was a money man.
Money launderer.
Not the money man. He was a money launderer, not the money launderer. There's others out there.
And this thing goes past, look, it goes past Trump. This goes back for several administrations. They all knew it. They all knew what was going on.
Clinton's more culpable than anybody. He was so deeply embedded. And now there's evidence that goes back to Mena, Arkansas, that they had dealings in Mena, Arkansas.
We know that for a fact that the Southern Air, where they trafficked all that Colombian Bam Bam and flew it into Mena, Arkansas, that airline was put there by guess who? Jeffrey Epstein and Les
crazy, bro.
Wexner.
Les Wexner, that's why Les Wexner's name hadn't come up in anything, because he's more of a big bat than Epstein is. Let's be real.
Of course, he's the one that's got the painting that has a Moloch on it, for God's sake. There's another one too. You remember a fella named Don Tyson?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Clinton's big homie from Arkansas, the big chicken guru, right?
Yep, Dixie Mafia all the way.
Dixie Mafia all the way. You see, you start greasing these wheels, bro, it goes everywhere.
And man, what's crazy, bro, is it's no different than things back in the 60s. You had the Dixie Mafia, you had La Cosa Nostra, you had government officials, you had the CIA. It's the same players, bro. If you really step back and take that 10,000-foot view, it's the same players. Dixie Mafia, La Cosa Nostra, these Israeli bigwigs, and members of our own government. Big-time members of our own government.
It's the apparatus. It's George Carlin. It's a big club and you ain't in it.
Yeah.
Right?
So it almost begs the point that nothing has changed since Kennedy was assassinated. Business just kept on going as usual.
Just some of the players change and some of them haven't because they're still alive. But when it's like a hydra, you cut off one head and one takes its place.
Two more takes its place. That's exactly right.
I mean, look at one of the numbers of the files that came out. The actual memo, the announcement of Jeffrey Epstein dying in custody, is dated the 9th. But he died on the 10th.
Yeah.
The same mistake was made with Charlie Kirk.
There's so much madness going on with the Epstein.
You realize that, right?
Yeah.
That book, Killing Charlie Kirk,
Yep.
came out the day before his death.
And to me, bro, that's somebody. That's some CIA spook that's probably into the esoteric. Because I don't believe all of them are witches. I don't believe all of them are involved in MK Ultra. Like not every single individual within the CIA is a terrible person, but there's enough of them. But God brings a balance. If there can be 100 bad ones and 10 men or women that have the spirit of the living God in them, and that far outweighs these 100 wicked ones. I believe that there's enough good ones in there that they're letting this stuff leak out, so the ones who have eyes to see and ears to hear can say, okay, well, this don't make sense because this book was being published the same day that notes every single thing that took place. There's somebody on the inside that's for us. I do firmly believe that. I believe that since the original Q files, because if anybody kept up with the Q, I remember when the Q first came out, there was information that was being put out that it had to be an insider, but then that got taken over. You see that was taken over, and all this mud was flung on there. Where when you looked at it, you're like, okay, this is a bunch of madness. This makes no sense. This, and then it delegitimizes everything that came before it.
Right. That's the same reason that they released that list yesterday, I believe it was, of names, and they gave you all these names listed in the Epstein files, and Elvis Presley's on there.
Yep.
Marilyn Monroe is on there. All these people, and they just do that to delegitimize the real folks. So they hide them in plain sight.
This is going to be a big mess, and I don't see that there's any end to it. It's either going to just fade away, or it's going to completely destroy the interior of life in this, not this country, but within this government structure as we know it.
Well,
something's got to give.
It's destroying governments worldwide already. You look at that.
Look at England, bro.
Yeah.
Homeboy's going to step down within the next 2 weeks. He has to because of King Charles's brother and his involvement with him. And there's no faith left in that government anymore. Right.
Dubai, the guy that stepped down, the Prince the UAE, United Arab Emirates, he stepped down.
Yep.
I mean, this thing has I told you it has global ramifications, brother.
The crazy thing is the only ramifications that haven't hit yet is here in this country.
They're not going to hit.
It's a big statement, bro. Something's got to be done.
Bro, they will pull this thing down before they let it hit. And that's what I think they're trying to do. It might be the reason why they let it go. I told you today, we got to get these far right, God-fearing people off the bench. We got to get them in the fight. You understand?
But I think these far right, God-fearing people are getting in the fight in a way that they weren't expecting.
Well, of course.
They're not going to be led by the nose.
No. I told you, write it down. You remember what I told you the other day?
I do.
I mean that 100%.
That's some ooky spooky stuff too, bro.
I told you this when you moved here. What did I tell you? The 4 boxes you got to check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's looking to be going that way, bro. But you know, I'm an optimist.
Me too. And a purging wildfire is natural and necessary when a forest grows too wild. Raz Al Ghul.
Yep. A purging fire is necessary. Natural and necessary.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Jesus is king, Duck, bro. That's all that matters.
That's it. And that's what I wanted to get to. Matter of fact, I wanted to tell you and leave everybody with an encouraging story.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I was watching today, and you know how these tech oligarchs, they're putting these big AI data centers everywhere, buying up all this farmland and stuff.
Drinking up all this water.
Yep. I saw an article or an actual video, interview of a gentleman up in Pennsylvania. One of these companies came to him, as an older gentleman, said his family settled there in 1944. He owned 261 acres of pristine farmland, and they wanted to put one of these AI data centers on his land. Older guy, probably in his 70s, I'm guessing. Old farmer, dairy farmer. And he's telling this story. This just was yesterday, matter of fact, that they did the interview. And they offered him $15 million for his land. And he turned them down. And he said, my blood and my sweat and my family is in this land. And it ain't for sale. And that gave me a sense of joy about me. And it took me back. And I don't know, I might have told you this, but my family came here in 1607, Jamestown. And they settled, after Jamestown, they settled up in what is now the Shenandoah National Park. And had a bunch of mountain land up there. And I've stood in that spot. I've hiked every inch of it. And it was taken from them. Taken. They offered to buy it, as the government's supposed to do, used eminent domain. It took my family's home place, hundreds of acres, pristine forest. And the government just took it to take their park. I hope they don't do that to this gentleman up there, because if they want to, they can.
Eminent domain.
But my family wouldn't sell either. I've held the warrants in my hand. My dad is head of the Historical Society, and I've held the actual hard copy warrants in my hand where they forced my family off. Never compensated them or nothing. We are in a very similar situation in this nation now. Turning point, if you will, a precipice. But what encouraged me is there's still people that have that attitude where I ain't for sale.
Right.
And my pastor told me a long time ago, Pastor Dumas, he said something very profound to me. He said, Brother Dave, everything I got's for sale except me. And that stuck with me, bro. And that's the kind of attitude we need to have, brothers and sisters. We can't be bought. Other people can. Donald Trump can be bought. It's obvious by now. He is bought and paid for. All these oligarchs are bought and paid for. Whatever their price is. It's money for some. It's the blood of children for others. But don't let yourself be bought. Your integrity does not have a price tag on it. Remember that.
Amen. That's beautiful, bro. I want to hit people with something. Everybody's heard this in Psalms. The Lord is and this is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Forever.
That's a beautiful, beautiful psalm. Folks, do you want to know the psalm that came right before that one? Listen to the contrast, if you would, please. My God, my God. This is Psalm 22. Why hast thou forsaken me? That's a stark contrast, ain't it, brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah.
Why art thou so far from helping me, and from the words of my roaring? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and am not silent. But thou art holy, O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not confounded. But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people. And they that see me laugh to scorn. They shoot out the lip, they shake the head, saying, He trusted on the Lord, that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my mother's breast. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. Spiritual creatures, wicked creatures. They gaped upon me with their mouths, and ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted in the midst of my bowels. Boy, that's heavy duty language, folks. And I'm not going to read it all to you. That's Psalm 22. But Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I wanted to show you that stark contrast. Because some of us are a reproach. I've been there. Am there in a lot of ways. Some of us are a reproach unto people. We don't hear the Lord. We don't feel like the Lord hears us. But he does. Because just like 22 is followed by 23, we may cry out to him like that, but that's what he wants, because he is our shepherd. The stark contrast, and David wrote both of those, the stark contrast between the two is crying out of desperation and having that comfort when he does answer, because we have that great expectation that he will, because we know in whom we believe. Period. That's the faith of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's the faith of God Jehovah, the Creator God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God bless each and every last one of y'all. This has been a great show, and we'll see you tomorrow night on the next episode.
Who we got in the chat, bro? Shout them out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We got Joanne proclaiming heaven's loud cry. Joe Baggy, Duck Bro, Annie's Vincent, Backroads 4167, KRS Rail, of course, the great Kendry Heller. I think I seen Dr. Manhattan in there earlier. Our brother Juno Tafaya. Let's see, the great Lucas Williams. Our sister Mystica. Marty Peters, who's up here in our neck of the woods somewhere. And if I miss you, I sincerely apologize. It was not intentional. But we appreciate each and every last one of y'all joining us, keeping it about 20 strong on this live show. And we hope to see each and every last one of you tomorrow night. Share this video with all your friends and family. We got a Procrophile in here, jumped in the last minute. Share this stream with all your friends and family. Hit like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you tomorrow night on the next thrilling episode of The Supernatural Truth. God bless y'all.
Hello, my children.
Respect your ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.